In this video, we're going to show you how to install this aluminum attic ladder, 375-pound capability. So as you can tell right here, this ladder piece, it's quite long, and our entry up here, it's not as long enough, so we're gonna cut this way so we can make the entrance a little bit longer. Go ahead and stay until the end of the video, that way you can see how the whole process goes, you know, what we're gonna do here to cut and get everything in place. This can apply for any kind of ladder, you know, attic ladder that you may have different sizes, so you can get an idea of how to install these. This is just showing you the interior edge of where the opening is currently. So here we're starting to break all of those edges. It looks like it's sheetrock and some metal edging material from when the builders originally made the house. This is not stuff we need to save or anything. I mean, it's just, you know, little pieces of sheetrock that's just kind of been put in there to make it look nice. So there you go. Then here my dad, he's taken out all of the nails, any like screws that are sticking out or whatever. So then right here, there was some kind of like long pieces of that material, and he's just kind of breaking it and removing that because it really won't be necessary to have it over there. So we're just taking that out so we have an easier access point. So yeah, we're just continuing to removing that particle board, plywood material, just getting all the area cleaned up around the edges, so that way he can start seeing what needs to get removed so we can make the opening bigger. Right here, he's using another piece of little board so he can knock out that little 2x4 that was put horizontally there. He's using this method so he can try to save that, and we're gonna go ahead and reuse that piece right there that you see he just took out. I'm gonna help him, you know, take out that little plywood that's stuck to it, and we're gonna do the same on this side over here. He's just gonna remove that that particle board off of the edge using a you know, like a little screwdriver so we can pry that out. Then he's gonna take it out of here shortly, so then, you know, you're gonna see the 2x4 directly behind it right over there. So you'll see this is going to help us a lot. That way you just want to get everything exposed, get to the bare materials, and then right here he's going to start removing those screws. If you have a drill, you know, that's going to save you some time so you don't have to manually do it. And then he's trimming, you know, with this little machine that he has. He's going to trim any metals that are popping out of the edges, like any nails or any screws or any metals. He's just gonna cut them flush with the wood, so that way, you know, we don't have any obstacles in the way. And then the next step right over here, he's starting to cut the sheetrock over there. He measured it from the top inside. He just measured the entire length that we needed for the attic ladder, and then he just kind of drew a line and just started cutting, you know. So he drew lines there, so he's just cutting just straight the opening that's needed. This is a nice little tool. It's a sheetrock cutting tool. It works really well, you know, to just cut small pieces. We also have like an electric one, but in this case, since it's just this small area we're going to be removing, we decided to just use this hand tool, and yeah, it worked out great. You know, we're just you know, he's getting that right there. So once, you'll see it in a little bit, we're going to remove this piece of plywood section, and then you're going to see the opening be like really nice and perfect for what we need. So there it is. We removed that extra piece of sheetrock. So now you see that opening. It's really nice. And the good thing, we already have those 2x4s up there. So it worked out great to just kind of follow that line. And the opening is a perfect opening. This customer had bought me the exact size, so it'll fit, just great in all of this area. And so, yeah, right here, he's just taking any excess material out. And then here we have this first step. It wants us to put that, this little pull string. So you just put it through that hole right there. And then on the other side right here, you just have to pull that little string right there, put the washer. So you want to do that first. So that way when you put it up, you can easily pull the attic ladder down. And then you'll be able to easily just kind of move it around, so that way you can put the screws in place. And right here we're getting ready to lift up the attic ladder. My dad decided to tie a string to it, like a rope. But before that, we're putting a temporary support, little piece of wood right there. It asks for that in the instructions. That way when you lift it up, you can kind of set it there on that edge, and that will help you to just for extra support. They call it a temporary support. So we're just putting a couple screws right there, right into the header. And there you see my dad, he's tying the rope to the ladder. So that way, he said he's gonna go up there and then he's gonna pull it, and then I'm gonna help him lift it. So there you see, he's going up. He's gonna stay up there for a little bit, and he's gonna go ahead and help me pull the ladder up there. And then I'm gonna start lifting it up, from the bottom. And the nice thing, this ladder, I actually picked it up by myself, and it wasn't too heavy. So, and I don't lift weights or anything like that. I don't work out and stuff like that. So any person can do this. If we can do this, you guys can do this for sure. There you see me, I'm lifting it up. My dad's helping me pull it up with that rope. So it actually went by pretty smoothly. So there, I'm gonna be lifting it up carefully so that it goes into the place there. Now this is, where we actually measured the ladder from end to end before we did any modifications. And so right there you see it's a really tight fit. I thought he was gonna need to cut some more to put it in, but he told me just push it, give it some little bit of strength and a little bit of force. So I just kind of started, hitting it, banging it a little bit, and then it just went in. Yeah, there you go. See, so I just put it in right there, and it was perfect. There I held it for a little bit, and then he just started to. You just want to screw in some screws on either side of the long end. He went ahead and put some screws right there. That way, it will kind of help us hold it in place. And then from there, I was able to pull down the actual ladder, so that way he can screw it in on the one end over there where the where you all the mechanism where you pull it down. He actually just screwed down one of the sides, and he's going to continue to just screw it down in place. And I was actually surprised, this ladder install from start to finish, it took us a maximum of 3 hours. Probably closer to 2 hours and 30 minutes or whatever. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Everything was worked out pretty good. The customer already had an opening there, so basically like you saw, you just remove all the pieces there, get everything cleaned up. You move the one header board, remove it out of the way, kind of put it where it needs to be after you kind of measure the opening. Then you can start cutting it out. And then in this case, you will need help, so you'll want to get a second person. And you see right here, he already screwed it in and everything is already in place, so I didn't need to, you know, keep holding it anymore. And so now we can go ahead and remove that temporary support, especially since we already screwed in both sides of the attic ladder, and then we also screwed it in at the shorter end. And so now the ladder is pretty much you know, being held by its, you know, by the screws that we put in, so we don't need this support anymore. So I'm just going to be unscrewing this, taking it out, and we'll go to the next step. And here I'm showing you how the ladder is already put in place, and I extended it all the way down to the bottom. So, and it worked out perfectly, because you see there, it's all the way to the bottom. We don't actually have to trim it or anything. I mean, in this install, it turned out perfect. So there, you know, my dad, he's screwing in the you know, the other screws on the side. There's one right there on the plate. There's another one here on the other plate right there. And then here I'm gonna bring him some shims that there he has them right there on his hand. So that's one thing too, you want to have some shims. The instructions calls for it. So wherever it's kind of lagging, or wherever you have like a little bit of a gap, you just want to make sure to put some shims in that area, so that way when you screw it in, you know, there it's not bowing like that frame, you know, because that the framing of this ladder, I mean, it's not too thick or heavy duty, you know, it's just like a 1x4. So you want to make sure, you know, wherever it's needed, you put in those shims, whether 1 or 2 or whatever. And so yeah, here we were just putting shims in different areas, making sure that we put, you know, several screws in there, so that way the ladder is it doesn't go anywhere. It's gonna stay nice and firm, and it's gonna last a very, very long time. And so there you go. You see it fit well all on the edges. You know, there's a string right there, so that's how you can pull it down. And here I'm pulling it down, you know, just kind of testing it, trying it out, as we just want to make sure that it's kind of opening and closing, you know, that it's not like crooked or at an angle or anything. We just want to make sure that the whole thing is square, and just everything should be opening pretty smoothly. You'll want to be careful with that aluminum ladder pulling down like that, because like you see right here, it came down pretty quickly, but we have to just yeah, you know, pull it down carefully. But yeah, here we go. And then one of the next things is I'm going to put in the legs at the bottom. So there, I put in the legs. You just put those in there, and then you have to make sure that the ladder's fully extended, that it's not straining, you know, on those joints areas. And then you got those 2 legs right there. So it's going to want you to mark the holes, because it has 3 holes. You'll want to do the middle one. So you'll just kind of with a pencil or a pen, you just kind of like, you can just draw it there, or you can just get, I think I got like a quarter inch drill bit, and you just drill through that the middle hole, and there you go. You just drill through that, and then your your nuts, your bolts will be able to go through there, and they will go in, you know, pretty smoothly. And then you just tighten it up with the proper tools, and that's how you put the legs in there. So here my dad, you know, he's trying out the ladder. Just walking down. He's a, you know, good sized man, good heavy set. So there you go. He's putting some couple more shims, removing any excess material. There he is, helping me tightening up the legs, and then I'm just helping him clean, making sure the job site is clean, and that's one thing that you want to do as well. Just, you know, keep everything clean, especially if you're doing this for a customer or someone else, even a friend or a family member. You know, it's always nice to keep things clean, keep things organized. That way they can be like, wow, you know, these guys, they're pretty good, you know, pretty clean. And not like some other people, you know, they just do their work, they just throw things everywhere, they just kind of leave it and it's all messy and stuff. And so I was here, you know, just trying to clean several times throughout the project, just kind of sweeping things, cleaning things, and helping my dad out the best I could. Meanwhile, he was, you know, taking care of some other things. The only thing that's needed besides sweeping is I told the homeowner that he may need to just kind of mop the concrete, because I think this is a new construction and the concrete is still pretty fresh, and so it you know, it gets colored or, you know, stained pretty easily. So, but with a quick mop, all of that will come up. So here we're just giving it one final test, you know, just going up and down, pulling it up, folding it, lifting it up into place, and we were very happy with this installation. Everything turned out so great, really nice, and there you go. It folds up flush with the ceiling. The customer was really happy. The husband and wife, you know, she was so happy. Her husband tried it out, and everything worked out great. And it, you know, it sits firm. It holds plenty of weight. I think over 350 pounds. So, yeah, this is how you install an attic ladder with the opening and everything. So hopefully this video was very helpful for you guys, and we ask that you subscribe. We're going to be uploading a lot more videos with this kind of content.